Hi, my name is Swati Wag, and I am the Science Outreach Librarian at Benedictine University. Today, I'm going to walk you through a live search on how to do a PICO search in CINAHL and also in PubMed. There is also a research guide on the topic under NRHL 5503. And it's on our website. As I'm doing the search, I will walk you through the basics. And then I will show you the PowerPoint that's attached in that research guide. And from there, you can look in the details later and how you need it. So right now, let's go to the live search. I'm going to the library's website, sharing my screen. And once I go there, I'm going to take this off. And then I'm going to account login, or this is where you'll be going to Benedictine University to look for the library's portal, which is here. Now, this part is important because I want you to go through the library's portal, because all of the subscriptions that we have that are full text will be available to you as PDF files when you do a search in the databases. And I click on the library, I go to the library, and these are the databases. And I told you where you can find the research guide. It's under courses and programs, and it's under NRHL 5503. So you can, all the information that you need to perform a search is here. And I'm just going to go live now and do the search in CINAHL first. They're going to be a keyword search, and there's also going to be subject heading search, okay? If you look, and I'm also going to share with you now the PowerPoint that we have, and it will look like this. Go through it at your leisure. It's in the research guide. And if you go here, this is my topic: use of heel protection protocol and supine position surgical patients decreases the incidence of heel pressure ulcers. This is the question. Now, I have picked the keywords from there, that is heel protection protocol, supine surgical patients, and heel pressure ulcers. Okay, now this is the form that you will be using to write out your search. If you have this clear in your mind, then actually when you go into the database, you don't get confused. You can do the searches pretty easily. And here is an example of all the keywords that I put in there in the PICO format. Okay, and go through that. And here is something that you will see, that all the horizontal rows are or and the vertical columns are and. Now, what do I mean by that? If you want to get some meaningful output from your search statements in the databases, you have to combine your keywords or your subject headings or any way you go into the database to look for information in, or is used for synonyms or for related terms, and is used when you want those particular keywords or subject headings. I'll talk about subject headings later, but just keep that in mind. The subject headings and the keywords, you want to arrange them in such a way by an and, so that the concepts appear in the title or the abstract or predominantly in the text. So it focuses more on the topic that you want to research. Okay, that's the only need for and. If you don't do that, it's going to look for one concept here, another concept there, and they won't be related. So that's something to remember and do. So now I'm also going to go now to my database that I was before, and I will leave this and go to academic databases is where it starts with. I am going to CINAHL. By this time, you must be aware of CINAHL, which is the Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. And here I am. So once I go here, now remember, this is normal. I'm sure you have been through that. This is the screen you will see. Now, before you go further, right on the screen itself, you have to scroll down and look for any author is nurse. That's your stipulation. You want only articles written by nurses. So this will cover that part of your research. Then when I go up here, I'm going to put in my keywords right from there, okay? And one good thing in this database is as you put in your keywords, it will give you some suggestions of what to use. So let me look at surgical patients. And also remember that you can truncate. If you put an asterisk, it means it's surgical patient or surgical patients. But I'm not going to use that because I'm going to make use of the suggestions that they give you. Surgical patients, or see the or there, that means it's a synonym. Surgery or procedure or operation or operative patient. So this is what I'm going to use here, okay? The second one that we have is heel pressure ulcers, right? Ulcers. And I am not going to, or it also told me in another brief flash there that it is heel pressure injuries, right? So I'm going to put that in there. Okay. And the last one that I'm going to put is, you want to see how to prevent it and control it. That's part of your research. You want to see what methods are there to prevent pressure ulcers from forming in surgical patients, okay? Now, it said supine, but sometimes it's better to go broad term and then get more records and then sift through if there's something on supine or positioning a patient, something like that, and then you'll get more out of it, okay? Now, next one I'm going to do is prevention. And then it will already come as prevention or intervention or treatment or program. Okay, so this is what I'm going to put here. Okay, now I'm going to search. When I search, it gives me only 4, right? So that's all there is in this database, and it looks pretty precise. So that's not bad. It goes from 2010 to 2018. So I'm going to go and say, I am going to look at only from 16 through 18, because 16 through 21 is the current 5 years, okay? Now here in this, there are 2 that I can find. Suppose I say, I want to look at this one. Now you see, this is a conference, so it's going to be only an abstract. So you won't have a full text for this. So there's no point in looking at it. Now this one is in China, so I don't want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, let me go back now. And then say I want it from 2013. Even though it's not within your range, I want to put those in because I'm going to do something else which you can do. Heel response to external pressure comes up, right? So I'm going to say, okay, this is something that I could use. And I'm going to look at and see if this is something relevant to me. And I can look at the full text because I said I want to look at the full text, and it will take me to Ovid, which is a full text database. You can look at it at your leisure. If you click on the PDF, it will be available to you, okay? So I'm not going to look at that now. I'm going back to my results list and just click on this without the text. And you see on the right-hand side here, find similar results. That's where I'm going to go. And it gives me about 4,241, okay? And now comes in all my filters, which I'm going to use to reduce the record set. So here I'm going to go and look at, this is from 61 to 22, we don't need that. So I'm going to look at here. and it is about 16. That's fine. And I get about 1,614, right? And then from there, once you get out of that search mode, you have to put in your nurse as author field here, right? So I'm going to do is click on this thing under the bar, which says show more, and it takes you to that first page. And then I'm going to see any author is nurse again. I'm going to put that as the limit and then do my search. And here you will get about 43, which is a good set, and it's current. So you can go with all these limiters. I reduced it from 4,000 to 43. So you can scroll down and look. The conference proceedings usually has only an abstract. So it might be useful to keep track of the person when they publish a paper in the journal, but not now for your need. Okay, this is a good one. You can look at it. And then it says time cited in this database is 1. And then when I click on this, it will sometimes tell me who has cited the paper. And that's another way to expand your research capability. And if you look at this PDF full text, you can look at the references at the end. And don't worry if it is something that is very old, because what I'm going to show you, this is a 1994 article. And then I can show you how to look for more information based on this. Suppose this is the one. I'm not going to look at that. Incidence of pressure ulcer within a national health service. Let me look at this one. It's 1994. It's pretty old, but I can look at it and see who has cited it. When I say cited, it means somebody went through the literature and found that this article was relevant to them between 1994 and 2021, and then they cited it as a reference in their paper. So with one article, you're going forward in time, right? From 1994 to 2021, you get more records which are more current. And then with these references that are all here, you're recycling your search backwards and forwards. So with one article, you can have an expanded search on the topic. Just remember that. And if you have any questions, you can always call me at 847-312-4845. Now from this, I'm going to move on to another topic, which is called subject searching, okay? Here, if you see on the side, on this topic that we looked at, major subject is heel ulcer prevention and control and protective devices utilization, right? That's what you were looking for. Now, there is a way to convert these keywords that we used into subject headings. Now, what is a subject heading? A subject heading is a way by which different people come to the search database with different keywords, depending upon what they're thinking about, right? It's very subjective on your analysis of what it requires. So what the indexers at CINAHL have done is they have mapped each of the keywords that is there to one common heading called the subject heading. And in this instance, that is what we are going to look for. So in the same place, I am going back and I'm going to say subject headings, CINAHL subject headings. I'm going to click on that. And then my first topic was surgical patients, right? So I'm going to put surgical patients. And then I'm going to say browse. Okay. And in this, it tells me surgical patients, use surgical patients. So I'm going to click on that. Right now, you scroll down and you go to surgical patients and it's here. So magically, it will appear here as a term because that's what you're going. Don't worry about explode right now. There is nothing you can do about this surgical patients to explode it, but that's another if an example comes up, I will tell you what it is, okay? Right now, let's stick with this surgical patient is one. Then I go back, and then the next one I had was heel pressure ulcers, right? So I'm going to put heel pressure ulcers and see what I get. I'm going to say browse. And then it says heel pressure ulcer, use heel ulcer. So that is what I'm going to put. It's telling me what is the preferred term to use. So once I'm going there, I say, okay, this is what I want. And under heel pressure, right? And these are called subheadings. So that means if I look under and say prevention and control, I'm putting in my next concept, which is prevention and control. And I'm going to say an and, because we want both these concepts, heel pressure ulcers, prevention control, and surgical patients in my search. So then I'm going to say search databases, and I get 2, right? And then if I want, this is pretty good, 16 to 2018 are these pretty good. So you can look at it. So this becomes much more precise way of searching.